Thinking of playing Death Ride Salerno, 29th Panzer Grenadier. Allied operations phase, and just want to comment on something here. So before the operations phase here in the command control phase, I went ahead and marked that unit out of command, but I want to know, can it contribute any fire, because I want to try to concentrate as much fire as possible here on that stack there dug in, to try to suppress them, even S1, so that so that the headquarters can move forward basically and put that unit back into command control. So can that unit fire being out of command? And it says units that are not in command and control. This is I'm not sure what's intended here, but maybe it's okay. Units or stacks that are not in command and control may not fire in conjunction with or combine their fire with units from other friendly organizations, but may otherwise fire normally. I'm thinking that the organization is the entire regiment, in which case it should be able to fire normally with all these other companies. In other words, in this case, there is no restriction because it's all one formation or one organization. Not positive about that, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, just in passing, this is the ratio 1.69, which will be on the 1.5 column, obviously, but I get that by massing everything. These three adjacent units, this unit's primary and secondary fire, this unit's primary fire, this unit's primary fire, and the headquarters primary fire. And the reason why is because this is something else that I can easily forget, and that is units can still fire normally and then move half of their movement allowance. So if I only have to get forward 1 or 2 hexes, maybe even 1 hex to do what I need to do, then they can fire and still do that movement. Something to easily forget. Okay, so then diagonal modifiers are going to be, it's going to be up 1 level. It's going to be hill hex, woods hex, dug in. Now I will get, no, that's only an assault. So yeah, we'll see if I get any positive fire modifiers. Okay, so I actually succeed on my bare minimum, what I'm trying to accomplish. They roll 7, it's -1. Now, the modifiers were not nearly as bad as I thought they were, so let's go through them, actually. So it's +2 because there's adjacency. These units are adjacent. So, and I think that if any units are adjacent, I'm assuming that. So, +2 for adjacent, -1 for hill, -1 for woods, +2, this is important. I forgot about the, I have fire crossing 3 hex faces, so that's a +2 for that crossfire. Forgot about that one. -3 for what? -3 for being dug in. The firing from lower elevation doesn't apply because all units have to be at the lower elevation, and these units are obviously at the same elevation, so that did not apply when I thought it did. And then that's it. So that is a net 1, 0 to -1. So that's 6. So we actually did achieve the suppression I was looking for. So that's good. So now they cannot do opportunity fire. So now I can move these units forward. Now they can take opportunity. Oh, this is where... Oh, you know what? This is... I'll double check this, but I got to remember all this stuff. Pay attention to stuff. I believe I can put a... I believe this unit can go into Overwatch. I'll double check that. Then I'll move. And then when the Germans use this unit to opportunity fire, this unit will get to fire first in Overwatch. Let me make sure all that's legal. I'm also going to mark all these units. This is something I just now realized. Something I don't think I've been paying attention to. So this unit is absolutely fire complete. This is true. But he can still move half of his movement allowance. So he could move forward to get in close to contribute to an assault. Now, if I did that, well, actually, I am going to do that if I can. Would the Germans get defensive fire? Obviously, they did. Oh yeah, this is defensive fire. I think the Germans, in fact, do get defensive fire, but let me check on that. Okay, sometimes, and what's great about this game system is that sometimes it's just mind-numbing, everything that's going on. And I'll say something here. I suspect that I am not doing a good job of showing everything that can happen. And again, we're just talking about basic infantry direct fire. So first of all, I think he fired, and now he can move half of his movement allowance. So he moves adjacent. These Germans are suppressed, but even though they cannot do opportunity fire, they can do defensive fire. So they will do defensive fire now because that's in response to that movement. I do believe this unit over here can just go into Overwatch. He doesn't want to move, so he just wants to go into Overwatch. You know, I just realized, is going into Overwatch an opportunity fire trigger? I'll assume not. So now he's in Overwatch, and he will fire Overwatch on this unit when that unit conducts opportunity fire on the units that are going to move here. But now here's something that I never thought of before. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know what the answer is. So can the rules say, let's go in order. First of all, a unit can use its whole movement allowance and not fire. That's easy. Or a unit can fire and move half of its movement allowance. So in this case, the unit fired, but it only fired its primary weapon because it was way out here at 4 hexes at long range. So he is fired primary complete. He has fired primary, but he has not fired secondary. Now, let's just say if he moved half of his movement allowance, 1, 2, let's say 1, 2, 3, like that. So then the rules say a unit can move half of its movement allowance and then fire at a penalty. So does that mean now it could fire its secondary weapon with a -2 penalty of firing after movement? And then when he's done, flipped. Then he's flipped to fire complete. And in fact, he's fire complete and he's, well, I guess he's not moved full. He's moved half, literally. Literally, he moved half. And he's fire complete at this point. So take that off. I don't see why that doesn't work. Just fascinating. I never thought about that. So fire primary, move half the movement allowance, then fire secondary with a penalty. Wow. I don't see why that's not the unit started movement and completed movement. A unit's basically always eligible to fire primary and secondary. They can. There's never any restriction in that sense with regard to target. It's not like it has to be the same target or anything like that. Not at the same time. Yeah. Never even thought about that before. So there's that factor as well. Wow. There's so much going on. All right, I'm going to do this defensive fire. Then I'm going to move. Then I'm going to do this all off camera. So that's going to be defensive fire. Headquarters unit's going to move forward. This unit will probably move forward. That'll initiate. Actually, each of those will initiate opportunity fire. And I know that Overwatch fire, I mean, they can fire Overwatch as many times as they have a legitimate opportunity fire to Overwatch fire at. There's lots of little stuff going on. First of all, this one, the defensive fire, they actually got an S2 result. That was because it was one of these situations where they had, I think it was on the one column, you have this non-simple progression here. So you have S1, S1, S2, S1, S1, S2, S2, S3, S2, S2. So I think it was a 5. So down here at a 5, there's still an S2, which is interesting, and I like that a lot. So they actually got an S2, and that's not good because they're adjacent, so they're only going to recover one of those at a time, one of those levels at a time. Then this unit moved, and I moved one before moving the headquarters because I wanted to see if the Overwatch fire could suppress this unit first. Then the headquarters could move just fine. Well, there's a lot more going on than is obvious. So first of all, the Overwatch against the unit in the fortification was a very long shot, simply a long shot, period. -4 for the fortification. Now, in doing this, I remembered I have probably done this wrong multiple times so far. It says on the terrain effects, this chart details the effects of terrain and markers. So I guess they're talking about these fortifications on combat and movement. If a hex has 2 features, use the worst. I think I keep compounding the hill with the woods. So I keep doing -1 for the woods, another -1 for the hill. I guess I'm supposed to only be doing -1. And I think I've been doing that wrong a lot. So if it's correct that they're not cumulative, well, that's unfortunate. But anyways, point is, very long shot, -4, minus another 1 for the train in there, and minus another 1 for firing uphill, up an elevation. So just an extreme long shot. So really the point is that Overwatch fire was practically ineffective under these circumstances. Well, it turns out that this opportunity fire was likewise nearly ineffective. So could have got something, but I mean, this extreme long shot to the point where moving forward is really not a I'm going to do this last one, but it's just no, I'm sorry, you cannot get on the, oh wait a minute, see, I'm doing that wrong too, because I just now read a note on the fire combat table. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, okay, I didn't realize this is different. On the fire combat table, you attacks at less than 1 to 4 or 0.25 are not allowed. Okay, so that's this case. So the headquarters unit can move forward just fine because, by the way, I think that can be replaced with a moved full to show that they're done. Okay. Yeah, that's a long shot. But interestingly, something to remember, I did not remember this on the assault column, or on the assault combat table. It's different. Attacks at lower than 1 to 4 are allowed and resolved at 1 to 4 or 0.25. Totally different. Assault, you can assault at less than 0.25 and they're resolved at 0.25. fire combat, you cannot resolve anything less than 0.25. Okay. Whew. A lot going on. I think that's it for now.